really fascinated by Richard Wilson's work, which, as it happens, he was born near Machynlleth, which is just up the road from me, in Penboyce. So that kind of triggered my imagination as well, to think that he had inhabited the landscapes which were very familiar to me, that he'd actually been there himself, not just as a painter, but as a sort of, just as growing up in Wales and being familiar with those landscapes. So I thought actually motorbike would be perfect, because you're out in the elements, you're physically engaging with the landscape because you're not in a box, you're actually outside and you have to, as you're riding, you lean or you wait the bike according to the road, you become hyper aware of the environment for safety purposes, because you kind of get in this sort of sixth sense about what's going on around you from being on a bike. So it's actually enabled me to sort of have a very different perception of being out in the landscape on the road. Is light. Without light you don't get photographs, without light you don't get films, and actually, although painting is made with paint, it's actually playing with light. So again, that's very intrinsically part of it, and the drama of the light and the way it articulates the space of the landscape, and just this sort of sense of, when you're looking at a film, the sort of movement as well. So there's kind of parallels of moving through the landscape, moving with the camera, capturing lots of scenes with one sweep of a phone, like a sort of, like a David Hockney photo montage. You can do that with a film because you can now stop it and pause it and have stills. So it's all about that, and being in a space which is three-dimensional. So this particular set of paintings was me stopped and doing a panoramic view of where I was, with lots of, moving the camera through the landscape, and then I'm stopping it and working on a couple of stills to create each of the images, and then the small drawings are the same. I'm really passionate about. One is actually being in the landscape, whether it's urban or like a natural landscape. The other is kind of the potential for painting, and looking at painting language and how it relates to other types of imagery. And then the whole idea about what landscape is. So those are the sort of three things.
I first met Catrin years ago when she was on her push bike going around Pembrokeshire.
Yes.
And you've been running through Cardiff, haven't you?
Yeah.
So the whole thing about looking in movement has always been important, hasn't it?
Absolutely.
In fact, I think that was your first exhibition.
The paint itself has become an abstract thing, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm employing quite a lot of techniques to make it as sort of visceral as possible. There's quite a depth of paint on there, and a lot of layers of brush marks, and just sort of building up the sort of surface.
So that removes it from it being totally pictorial,